Hey, I wanted to begin our training on Community Covenant. It's a 10-part teaching, and I've just given you the intro, and this is our first part in Covenant today, talking about the Covenant of Grace Affirmation. The goal is to get our small groups or our missional communities all in agreement that we're going to walk in covenant together. I think the level that we do that is the level of success that we have in making disciples in the church and seeing a culture of people that we can actually see the power of God manifest in our lives and reaching beyond that. That's what a church should be about. But let me just read this to you guys. You'll have your copy. You can read along. And the idea is each week we'll focus on one point in our missional community group meetings, and we will basically read it together like I'm doing with you, and I'll have a few questions that I'll add, and then you can lead your groups like I'm leading you on video. It says, I will choose to love you, upbuild you, and accept you, my brothers and sisters, no matter what you say or do. I'll choose to love you in whatever form you come. There's nothing you have done or will do that will make me stop loving you. I may not agree with your actions, but I will love you as a person and do all I can to hold you up in God's affirming love. Grace is the most important aspect of community, period. A church without grace is a doomed church. And so our goal is to be a grace-giving, grace-believing body. We all need it, we all miss it, and we all need help. So we need to become a people that can walk that out, helping one another and receiving help. And we're all going to need to give it, and we're all going to need to get it, grace, from time to time. Where there is no grace, there is no growth. This example of this is the Pharisees. The Pharisees were the priestly group in the Old Testament, and they would always put the expectations of everybody to live perfectly in Israel. And all Israel did was constantly feel pressured by religion. Phariseeism is expecting people to obey all the rules and to get the behavior right. And grace, without grace, that's what we become. Rule followers and pushy. Where there is grace, there's growth opportunities. I think about the woman at the well, the woman that had 5 husbands. Jesus was able to sit there and talk with her and get deep into conversation about her need of finding water that would satisfy her in a place other than just these other husbands. Nicodemus at midnight came to talk to Jesus because he was ashamed to talk to him in the broad daylight because he was a Pharisee. It's interesting that a lot of Pharisees who lack grace are looking for grace. And that's one of our greatest opportunities in the church, is to minister and help people get out of legalism and enter them into a place of what I call an easy, light yoke, which is grace-giving ministry. And so Nicodemus at midnight came, and Jesus ministered to him there. He didn't dumb him down. He just told him what it meant to be born again. And then the adulterer that was in the road. Remember the woman who had sinned in adultery, and all the Pharisees again were ready to stone her. And Jesus leaned down and wrote something and scribbled something in the sand and said, he gave her grace. He gave her grace. What did she deserve? Well, according to the law, she deserved death, and everyone was ready to give it to her. What did Jesus do? God himself, he came to give grace. Grace is the essential thing to give people an opportunity to move up in the spirit and move on with their lives. The simplest way I can say it is, in fellowship, in the church, I will not divorce you. I will not look to another person or another group or another church or another. I'm not going to divorce you. No matter how difficult it is, how hard it is, I want you to know I'm committed to you. I'm committed to walking with you. I'm committed to cheering for you. I'm committed to help you pick up the pieces. But either way, I'm going to give you grace because I need it. I will not divorce you. That's grace. Really, that's what we've got to live like as a church. The question is, can you covenant to work with people and love them and stay connected even when they disappoint you or don't meet your standard or your timetables? After you've gone ahead and shared this together and read it and maybe had some insights, here are just a couple questions that may help you get conversation going around your group. 1, can you covenant to work with people, love them, and stay connected even when they disappoint you? Okay, sorry, I wish I could edit, but I need an edit button. I already said that. That's the first question. Number 2, share examples of how grace helped you grow. Number 3, share examples of how judgmental attitudes or lack of grace hindered your growth. And number 4, how do we walk this out? How do we walk covenant out as a community group, as a missional community right here? The 4 of us, the 8 of us. Can we commit to living this out? And remember, this is just point 1. This is the covenant of grace affirmation. All right. God bless you guys as you go through week 1. And I pray that we can all grow closer to Christ in covenant with his Spirit, with the Word of God, and with one another. Bless you.